This is the Old Guy Network.
Welcome back to the Trailer Hood. I'm the OG, the old guy from the Old Guy Network. You knew that already, though, didn't you? Yesterday, we did a lot around here. When I say we, I mean myself and the OG in training, Zane. Yeah, he came back. He's been busy for the past couple of months, but he was able to come back yesterday, totally rebuilt my furnace, and he didn't just rebuild the furnace. I mean, he added a nice Beckett burner that he rebuilt, reconditioned, and put in, and everything is working, like he said in the video, 10 times better than it did before. This furnace is so efficient now. This trailer heats up within minutes. It took hours before. Now it's within minutes. And by our estimate, and please, we're no mathematicians, neither one of us, but by our estimate, I should burn about half the fuel I burned last year. So instead of going through almost 2 tanks of oil, I should go through less than 1. That would be a wonderful, wonderful thing. I mean, I always like to save some money. So I appreciate Zane coming over here. Thanks again. Did a great job, and I couldn't be happier. I couldn't. I've been happier before. It was just like this. So, but before I let him go, I dragged him to Tractor Supply, and we picked up a couple of things to do another project in the shed, and I did this yesterday. We added the Mr. Heater, Big Buddy Heater in the shed, and I'm going to use that to supply heat. Now, if you're not aware of what these are, they're just small quartz propane heaters. They power off of 2 1-pound propane cylinders, the kind you take for camping or what have you. This also has a blower in it, which runs on 4 D-cell batteries. I don't have any D-cell batteries, so I've ordered a power supply for it to help it be more efficient. But what we did basically was hook a hose up to it so we could power it with this, a big cylinder, instead of those little tiny, 1-pound cylinders, because those are kind of expensive and they only last about a day or so, if that. And so now I don't have to trade that out. This thing is twice the size of the propane tanks that you have for your barbecue grill. Holds about 10 gallons of liquid propane, and they're quite heavy, and it's about 75 pounds, something like that. And that's important towards the end of this video, and I'll show you that in a little bit. But let me show you what I did in the shop. Yesterday, Zane and I hooked up my Big Buddy heater. You can see that's it right there on the wall. Now, normally the Big Buddy heater takes 2 small 1-pound tanks of propane, but we hooked a hose up to it and ran that outside and hooked that up to a 40-pound propane cylinder, and it works really nice. Now, the problem is the Big Buddy heater does come with a blower that takes 4 D-cell batteries. I don't have any D-cell batteries, not ones that are charged anyway. So I'm waiting to get a power supply. I don't have a power supply yet to run the blower. I've got one on order, and hopefully I'll get that within the next few days. But today is kind of a cool day, so I want to test out how this does without the blower. The shed is not insulated. I haven't even put the plastic over the windows like I usually do. It is what it is. And for right now, let's see if we can see this. This is hard to see. It's about 58 degrees in here right now. So I'm going to turn on the Big Buddy heater, and we're going to see if it actually heats up the shed. And there we go. Now, there's a lot of light in here, so you can't really see. It's heating up. Can't really see that it is turning orange, more and more orange, but because the lights are on. So there, as you can see, it is on, and I'm going to let that run for about 10 or 15 minutes.
and we'll check the temperature again. I've been in here for about 5 minutes now, and it is warming up just a little bit. It's only gone up about a degree or so. But remember this thing? This is something that I made last summer, and this was my d.i.y. air conditioner. And if you notice on the top of that, we have a little fan. Now, I'm going to take that fan, and we're going to use that to circulate air. It's just a computer fan. Already have the power supply, and I'm just going to put this over the Mr. Buddy heater, and should be a place to put it. Yeah, right there, right where that sprayer is. I'm going to put it just above that, plug it in, and see if we can circulate some air in here and make it warm up a little faster. So I have the fan set up now, and it's just above the heater, and that is drawing air from the heater and blowing it out. Yeah, that's warm. That's really nice. So that should actually make a big difference. I mean, this is a radiant heater, so all you get, it warms up right in front of the heater really, really well. What it's supposed to do is radiate the heat out to the rest of the building, and it takes some time to do that. So with the addition of this blower, because this one's not working because we don't have any batteries, this should send the heat out, and I can feel it way back here past the camera. So let's give that about 5 or 10 minutes, and then we're going to check the temperature again, and I can already feel it. It's getting warmer. Feels good. All right, I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's just about 70 degrees in here. Just under 70. It's been about 15 minutes. So, yeah, this is working quite well. And I imagine it's going to be even more efficient when I have the blower from the heater actually pushing the air around. And maybe after I do that, and that's working, I could take the little computer fan and bring that towards the front of the building just to draw some of the air around, just to keep it circulated. And it probably will do a little bit better job. I'll try that after I get the power supply for the heater. But for right now, it's nice and warm in this shop, and I'm getting a few things done. And yeah.
After about 30 minutes of the heater being on, I actually had to turn it down. I had it on high, and I turned it down to medium, which you saw there's 2 plates on the front. High has both plates going, medium is just one. And I got to tell you, it got around 75 degrees in there, and it maintained it. Now, yesterday was not a really, really cold day, not like we're about to have, but it was pretty good. And it's not insulated in there. Once I've got it insulated, and we've got the blower working on the heater itself, and I bring that other little computer fan towards the front of the building just to suck some of the air out and just circulate the air a little better, I think it's going to be really, really nice in there. And some people are probably thinking, well, don't those things, those aren't vented. Aren't you worried about, oxygen levels and O2 sensors and all that? Yes, absolutely. But it does have a shut-off on it. If the oxygen level gets below a certain point, the heater actually shuts off. And I do have O2 sensors. I will have O2 sensors in the shed just as soon as we tighten it up a little bit and put some insulation in it. So, yeah, hopefully everything will work out well. They don't sell these specifically as indoor heaters, but they are an emergency heater. If your power goes out, you can use them inside. I've used this one to heat my entire trailer. At least, I shouldn't say that. I use it to heat the front of the trailer. I have a door that I can shut my hallway, and it cuts my trailer in half. And that little heater actually does a pretty good job. So if you're going to use one of these inside, then you definitely want to have some kind of an O2 sensor, or just be careful. Be really, really careful. Don't put this in a small room like a bedroom or a bathroom, whatever, and just close up the doors. And it probably wouldn't be a good idea. And as I said, there is a sensor in it, so if it drops the oxygen level down, it's going to automatically shut off, and it's not going to heat anything anyway. So be careful when you use these. Indoors, I always recommend vented. For a shop, I'm going to go with this one, the ventless one. And we'll see how it works out. Hopefully it'll be okay. One of the things I mentioned earlier was how much these tanks weigh. These tanks, when they're filled, weigh about 75 pounds, somewhere around there. And this is the reason why I mentioned that, because Zane, he's a trooper. We got to the Tractor Supply, and we forgot we were getting the tank, too. So this is what happened.
Okay, this is Zane in the car. We forgot that we were picking up a 40-pound propane tank, and we took the vet. And how you feel, Zane?
Pretty comfortable. Honestly, this is not the worst position I've been in.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, let's see if we can get this home.
And right after that, off camera, he said, "Oh, I hope we don't get into an accident," because that's 75 pounds between his legs, and yeah, that would have been a really, really bad thing. So he, like I said, he was a trooper, and it was no problem. We got home all right, and we got the tank installed, as you can see. So that's basically what I did, and thanks again for your help, Zane. I really appreciate it, and thank you for going to my coffee page, if you've done so, just to buy a cup of coffee for me, and give a couple of bucks to the channel to help support these videos. I really do appreciate it. If you'd like to do that as well, and you haven't done so yet, well, there's a link. There's this right here, plus there's a link in the description below, so take a look at that if you'd like to. That's going to do it for me, the OG for the Old Guy Network. I'm out.